I'm surprised you answered my call, Megan.
Hey, Basil, how are you?
Just trying to be a thorn in your side any chance I can.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You didn't find that funny? I thought that was kind of a little funny.
Yeah, I think it's a little funny.
A little funny, just a little bit? Hey, I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
One, are you guys using Loralee for all your counsel, or you guys got an outside counsel firm that you guys are referring stuff to?
We use
for like all your municipality stuff. Like, are you still using, with Naaman, House, Smith, and Lee, are you guys, when it comes to the Texas Meetings Open Acts and the Texas Public Records, who are you referring to before you send out any kind of denials to, or opinions to the AG?
So typically we would go with Loralee, although sometimes we call the AG's office. I'm not aware of us speaking with a different attorney than Loralee for this. I think that I would know.
Well, the reason I asked, I know you guys can't just call the AG because they'll tell you to send the opinion, the denial in for opinion. It takes 60 days, 45 business days.
We can call them for some stuff.
Right.
If it's going to have to go to them for an opinion, we have to send it for an opinion, but we can call them for some stuff. We can get clarification, we can get some questions answered.
Right, on some immediate important stuff. I understand that. I don't think you guys are being compliant with the records and the Texas Meetings Open Act, and I wanted to get the information to where I need to send some documentation to an attorney. And that's kind of why I wanted to check with the attorney about some things before I send out any formal paperwork.
I would be glad to reach out to Loralee and find out what kind of contact method she would like you to use.
Right. Is there what is a way to, because I know she works at I believe Brazos River Authority, correct? During the daytime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is the best way to get a hold of her if I gotta use normal channels through the city and stuff?
Yeah. So let me ask her how she would prefer. I mean, theoretically, you could just send her an email.
Okay. I mean, I don't even have her email address. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Because if that's the way that she prefers it, I don't mind sending her an email.
Yeah.
I'd actually prefer that, actually. I'm not trying to be a major pain, but I'm definitely going to be a thorn because I have questions. But.
Yeah. No, 100%. Okay, I have L. Vallon, VALLON. At hillsborotx.org.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see it listed anywhere. In fact, she's not listed anywhere on your site. She was listed on an old directory that I found. I actually have a couple of questions to ask you if you don't mind having just a couple of minutes real quick.
I think I'm good.
Okay. So I have a question. I filled out a request to at least come in and review and inspect the Terry Dickman video.
Okay.
Is there, I mean, for some reason, I don't know why you guys don't want to release it, but whatever, that's another story. Is there a way to come in and at least review it?
I think we had to send that one to the AG.
Oh, okay. I didn't get notification that it was sent up.
I'm not sure. I'm sure that what day did you make the request?
A couple days ago, 2-3 days ago.
Okay, yeah.
It was just a request for like an in-person inspection of the records.
Yeah.
And then my other question, sorry, I'm trying to think because I lost my train of thought there for a second. My other question was, how many records, did you guys get an influx of records requests for that video the last couple of days?
I don't know. None of them came to me.
Oh, okay. And then my question is, are you guys denying that because of something embarrassing or incriminating, or is it just because it's me?
I would say neither.
Well, I mean, there'd be no reason not to release it if there isn't, so...
Well, if your request was made 2 days ago, then
No, I've been denied Terry Dickman's video 3 times now. Terry Dickman has been denied his own video. So I'm just trying to.
No idea.
I'm just trying to figure out what is so embarrassing or incriminating for the city of Hillsboro that you guys have literally denied just this video.
Basil, we're not granting or denying anything based on our preference. We're granting and denying everything based on what we're legally supposed to do. And so if we have denied something, it's because we were told to deny it.
Well, no,
I'm not involved in that.
How did I get?
I'm not involved in that because I'm not part of the, I don't have any particular expertise around the contents of the video, and I'm not the open records.
Okay, well,
right,
but
I'm
the
not
reason.
The person who does that, but I can tell you that there's not anything that we're like, oh, we don't want people to have. That's
Well,
not our basis.
then let me ask. Then let me give you this question that food for thought. Okay, why is it that I got Amy Howell's video that resulted in no prosecution, no deferred judication, but yet Terry Dickman's resulted in no deferred judication and no conviction, which is the same exact parameters, but I'm being denied that video with a signed release, just like I did with Amy Howell?
I am perfectly happy to check into that and answer that question, but I honestly have no idea. I think it has to do with whatever we've been told by the AG's office when we run the stuff up there.
Well, and like I said, there's things that are being submitted on the stuff to the AG that is inaccurate. You're not being completely, and I'm not saying, when I say you, I don't mean you specifically. You're not typing it up.
I understand.
So, but I'm saying you as the city, whoever may be tonight typing it up, is not being 100% truthful in what's actually being written to the AG. I understand, okay, well, we don't have the exact, but you still have the technological capabilities with the redaction software. Guess what? The law changed on September 1st. I get it. We'll get over that hurdle. No big deal. Don't worry about the redaction software. But now, there should be no reason to deny it now that September 1's already come and gone. But I'm still now running into a BS. Well, we had a previous decision based. No, you had a previous decision based on a license plate redaction plus this, plus another decision on the same thing because at that point he was pending charges, which he no longer is. So there's been 3 requests myself, Megan, and I'm not trying to be mean. My tone is just it's my normal tone.
I completely understand.
3 times because I'm literally about to send.
Yeah.
I'm about to send this press release out to about 50 news agencies today to flood you guys with press calls tomorrow regarding how you are continuing after 30 requests have been sent to your office this week. I know for a fact at least 30 requests have come in by 30 different people for that same video, that you guys are still denying and refusing the public access to a video that is a matter of public interest because of something that's happened or embarrassing on that video. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, Megan, I would suggest you go review it. You, as a part of that governing body, have the right to go down there and inspect that video for yourself and find out what is so incriminating or embarrassing. And I use those 2 different words.
That's the thing. It has nothing to do with our preference. It has nothing to do with whether we like or don't like or happy or embarrassed. It has nothing to do with that. If there's something that we haven't released, it's because the AG's office has told us not to release it, period. And the AG's office doesn't care whether we're embarrassed or not.
The AG is just an opinion. You have the discretion to release it as the city. It's in the law. And that opinion is not law. I mean,
We're not going to release something that the AG's office tells us not to release.
You will if I take my writ right now that I got typed up to the district clerk and we go to court, because I'm about to do that with you guys. But I'm trying to go ahead and talk to Loralee before I walk my petition. You can ask her. I have my petition of writ of mandamus ready to file in district court, and I will take every single one of you individually in your official capacity and bring suit against you in the city. Because you guys don't want to release it. And I'm putting you on notice, Megan, right now as a city, since you're the city manager, that I've got my writ typed up. I'm fixing to go down there and file it tomorrow, along with all my press releases I'm sending out right now after I get off the phone with you. So you guys don't want to play the fair and right way and do the thing the right way. That's fine. You want to blame it on the AG. Well, the AG hasn't even gotten the 3rd decision yet. It's an opinion. It's not a law. It's not mandated. I'm fixing to take this down to the judge, so you have to be compelled to give it. It's a matter of public interest. I'm a journalist. You have to give it to me. I have a release signed. the charges are dropped. No redactions required. I'm sorry, but there's no reason.
We're not relying on our own preferences. We're relying on what the direction we've been given from the authority in the state of Texas, which is the AG's office.
No, you haven't. It's still sitting going on. You also have discretion. What you need to be doing is talking to Loralee and asking her opinion, because that's all going to come down on you guys. It doesn't matter what the opinion of the state is. The opinion of somebody in the office is not coming from the Attorney General himself. It's an opinion. It's not a law. It's not a decision. It's an opinion. All he's saying is, well, I don't think you should. That's an opinion. That's not law.
We're not going to go against the Attorney General's opinion. Why would we do that?
So when the district judge orders you to compel it, are you going to do that then, or do I have to file charges that you guys fail to compel? Because that's the route I'm going next.
If the district judge compels us to do it, then that is a compelling reason to do something different than the Attorney General.
So you're telling me right now, if the district judge compels you and orders you to give me that, you're going to go ahead and release it?
Of course.
Okay, I've got that on recording. I just wanted to make sure. I've got it all recorded, Megan. I just wanted to make sure that, because that's all going to be handed over to the press tonight. This recording, along with my press statements. I'm just letting you know now. So I'm going to call Loralee. I'm going to email her. I'm also going to email her my press statement. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to rectify this before Tuesday when I show up. And I may have all the media outlets there with me. So it's not going to be good for y'all. I'm not going to play games anymore. I'm not going to be nice. I was nice on the first part of the phone call because I was trying to get you to really tell me the real reason, but it just sounds to me like with the way you told me that you're going by the Attorney General, that's not how that works. You guys have discretion to release that, which means Loralee could look at that, and if there's something on there that's damning, then you're not going to release it. So that tells me that you guys are hiding something. That's confirmation.
Nothing that I have said justifies that in any way, but if that's how you prefer to see it, I certainly can't persuade you otherwise.
Then I've got a signed release. Let me come down and look at it. I don't even have to record it. I don't have to have my recording device with me. Let me come in and review the video.
So we're going to do what the Attorney General has.
The Attorney General hasn't said anything. You're sending it already back, which means that you're not doing what you're supposed to do legally. You also have the discretion. It says right there in the municipal code, in the State Public Information Act, you have the discretionary to release it if you want. Just like when you have an officer-involved shooting and everybody wants to see it, y'all put it out in the press. That's how it works. You have discretion to do it, and all you're trying to do is block it because there's something or embarrassing. You don't want to get egg on your face, Megan, and that's exactly what it is.
We are following the same protocol
no, you're not.
as we would with any other piece of information.
No, you're not, ma'am, because you did not send my... No, you didn't.
The Attorney General's office has advised us or opined that we not release, that we have gone against the Attorney General's opinion. Not one.
Well, you never sent my body-worn camera.
With our entire policy, with our entire process.
Megan, you just lied. How did I get Amy Howell's video? You didn't send it to the Attorney General. You never requested an opinion. That's a lie. You just lied.
I said we have never gone against the Attorney General's opinion.
Right. You released me body cam footage without submitting it to the Attorney General to begin with back in April.
But we did.
Yes, you did. I have it.
We did submit it to the Attorney General's office.
No, you did not.
And the Attorney General has given us the opinion not to release it.
No, ma'am.
Let me go back to the original statement.
I had it less than 10 business days and picked it up.
Is happening. I have not been personally involved in the process. So this is what I think is happening. If we've not released it, it's been because the Attorney General has told us not to release it. There's not anything.
What you guys have just committed is viewpoint discrimination and broke the law. Regardless if you admit it or you don't know about it, it still happened. I got Amy Howell's video with a signed release with the same conditions that we got going on with Terry Dickman's video. Now you're not releasing Terry Dickman's video to Terry Dickman. That's viewpoint discrimination.
If the Attorney General's office had opined that we should not release Amy Howell's video, then we wouldn't have released Amy Howell's video.
That's because you never sent it up. If your policy is to send everything up, then everything needs to get sent up. Why didn't you get it sent up?
Our policy was to send everything up. I said our policy was to follow the Attorney General's opinions.
You're not following...
If we've got an opinion from the Attorney General, even though we've got the discretion to kick that opinion to the curb and do something different, it is our policy not to do that.
Megan, you're not listening to me. You have to deny me something, send it to the Attorney General to get an opinion. You don't just get an opinion up front. That's not how it works. If that's what you think, you've been hired for the wrong position. You deny me something, you request to submit it up to it for an opinion with the Attorney General, which is an opinion, not the law, not a decision, an opinion based on what statements you are making, and so far in your last two requests to the Attorney General have been false. It's perjury. When you make false statements to somebody and it's not true and factual, that is false and it's perjury. That's tampering with government records and tampering with evidence. That's what you guys have done in the city. Now, I would suggest you check with Loralee, because y'all got some stuff coming. Y'all, I'm done playing hardball. It's been 6 months. I figured I'd have this video and I'd be done and moved on out of y'all's town and gone to do something else. But no, I'm going to be here until I get it. I'm going to have it real soon. I'm fixing to go file my lawsuit down at the district court tomorrow. I've got it typed up. I mean, you got nothing to deny it. The charges have been dropped. I've got a signed release. I've got Mr. Terry Dickman that's sent me his request and his denial. I'm taking that in all my evidence to court. You guys are going to be compelled.
What is your basis for believing that it's being denied now that all these things are finished? When's the last time, have any of those conditions changed since the last time?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the shot clock on these requests?
Well, let me ask you this. Are we talking about the first request, the second request, or the third request?
Yes.
The first request, he was pending criminal charges. So therefore, the 552-108A2, that card that you guys pulled in, did apply. It did apply. So therefore, it was a valid opinion. I'm not disagreeing with that. It could have. I'm not disagreeing with the the first time I requested it. Okay, that's not in denial about that at all. The second time, license plates needed to be redacted. You guys are claiming that you had no technological capabilities, because those are the verbiage that's used under that opinion, to be able to deny me my request. And then again, you guys applied the 552-108. So you applied two codes. Okay. Now it says that the decision we got back, the law hadn't changed yet, and because my request was previous to the date changing, when they came back and finally decided, they sided with you based on technological capabilities, even though you guys have Adobe Premiere, and okay, so we don't have people that, look, that's a false statement, but okay, you don't have people that work it, you only have one use. Again, you're making excuses, but I'll go with that. That's fine. I'll let that one slide. Now we got the third one that I submitted on September 4th or 2nd, which is the day after the law changed about the license plate redaction. So which means that now at this point, there's nothing hindering this. You guys are still using the 552-108A2 code, saying that this did not result in deferred adjudication and conviction. Okay? However, usually the opinion doesn't stand up on that, but what's stated in that false statement is that you're trying to base that one off a previous decision you've already sent up, but that's not true. The conditions have changed since I resubmitted that, but yet you're trying to go back on a previous decision based on the previous conditions for this request. Terry Dickman submitted it on his behalf. He submitted it himself. He's been given the same exact code, and it's his own footage where he doesn't need a release sign. He would have gotten that. He would have gotten that. I think he did it like, I'd have to check the email, but I think it was like 2 days after I got my denial, or that you guys were sending my request up to the Attorney General. Let me see.
That would have been in September after the license plate thing changed?
Yes, ma'am. I did as well. It was after the license plate thing changed. So there should have been no reason why this should have been a big deal and why this should be going this far. He submitted it on...
Well, the thing that I would wonder is,
There should be no reason at this point. I understand the first two reasons. I get it.
So I can understand on your part you thinking that like there's one person somewhere who's seeing all of these requests and is remembering the previous things and knows all of the things. Because the requests come in and there are different people involved in different parts of the process, I mean, I would like to look into this a little bit.
I would like, now look, I can make a deal with you. If you're willing to look into this, if you're truly telling me that you don't know what is going on, okay, and you're going to look into this and get back to me, like I said, I don't care. You got to go all the way down to the PD, sit with Maria Ramirez, and watch that video, okay? I've got a signed release. He's no longer pending criminal charges. There should be no problem releasing that video. There should be nothing. His case was dismissed with prejudice, which means you can't use that 552108 to come back and recharge him because the DA has dropped it with prejudice, which means they're not coming back to file. They can't file charges. That's with prejudice. Now, if it was without prejudice, then I can maybe understand that code and you saying that, hey, they dismissed it without prejudice. But these charges have been dismissed with prejudice. They cannot come back and charge him again. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And whoever's over there, let me ask you this question. I'm sorry. Let me calm down for Woosah. Who's the records custodian for the city of Hillsboro?
The city secretary gets the records request.
No, I know she gets the records request. Who is the records custodian? The one that's licensed and holds and is responsible, the records custodian for all of the records in the city of Hillsboro.
I'm not sure if anybody has a license.
There should be some sort of training. Do me a favor. That's the other thing I want you to read. Who is the records custodian and the holder of the records? There's somebody designated in the city, and that could be Tony. That could be somebody over in the PD that works with Maria. It could be Jasmine, just to double check. It could be you. You may not know. It could be, I think it's Sandra. It could be, and all of you could be records custodians. So I want to know who the records custodians are because that's a problem we're having. I have never dealt with so much hassle over. I just got a outside law firm to send me video, unredacted, that the city was telling me didn't exist, and they blurted out, even the cop's face, and they went and tampered with my record. I literally just had the law firm send me a flash drive with 5 body cam videos because the city screwed up. And this is why I wanted to talk to your law firm and let them know what you guys are doing. Because I guarantee you they would get involved. It sounds to me like you guys don't have a lawyer reviewing this. Tony is, if you don't know about it, that means Tony's making the decision to tell Maria, type it up, send it to the AG, without Loralee looking at it and without notifying you. And that's not supposed to happen. That's not what the process is.
I just need to look into this.
I know you do. And if you're going to look into it and you're going to give me your word, I'll hold off on filing the writ down there at the district court because I was fixing to do that tomorrow. I've got it typed up right here. I'm looking at it.
Well, I think so. Jasmine's out today. She's out tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna be there at city council. I'm gonna be there at city council on Tuesday.
Okay. Well, I can't talk to Jasmine until Monday.
I want you guys to review it and find out why it's such a big deal.
But honestly, Basil, like,
if there's nothing wrong, then what's the problem?
The issue is it shouldn't matter. Like, it does not matter what is on that video.
It does.
If we're supposed to release it, we need to release it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well,
you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be an issue of like what's weird about it. Like, I don't need to go be weirded out. Like, if it needs to be released, we need to be released. Yeah, we need to release it.
Well,
if there's some legal reason why we shouldn't release it, then that's something else. But
well, and usually if there's something, if there's something,
it has nothing to do with.
If there's something illegal, like incriminating, or if there's something seriously embarrassing for somebody like Mr. Terry Dickman, okay, then I have seen where law enforcement agencies have talked with their local counsel. Their counsel says, you know what, Because of this, send it to the AG, let the AG decide what they want to do, and then we'll decide if we're going to release it or not. Now, keep in mind, under that Texas Public Information Act, if you guys want to release it, you have that option to release it. You're not bound by the I'm telling you, the law's there. I can send it to you. You are not bound. It is discretionary. But if there's something on there, or you want to be difficult, then you can send it to the AG and stall for 60 days, wait for a decision, and then decide what you want to do. Again,
I sort of object to the idea of people wanting to be difficult. I think sometimes people send off to the AG to find out what we're supposed to do. I mean, this is the kind of thing that makes people feel very anxious about trying to get it right.
But let me ask you this, Megan. If I'm requesting body cam footage, then that means that every single person and every single video that we submit for would have an automatic, this is what we do before we release anything, to the AG. That's not what's happened to me so far since I've been dealing with Hillsboro.
No, but in this case, so Amy Howell requested her video and we gave it to her.
No, you gave it to me with a signed release.
Okay.
Okay. I asked for Terry Dickman's 3 times with a signed release. Where's my video?
You had a signed release on the first one?
A second one and a third one.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking...
Now, also, Terry Dickman requested his own video.
In the first case, it was still...
Okay, hold on.
In the process,
You're skipping it. You're changing the goalpost. Terry Dickman requested his own video, so we wouldn't have to worry about a signed release. How come
I know. The thing is that the Terry Dickman case isn't the same as the Amy Howell case until request number 3. And if our reason for refusing request number 3 is because we got guidance on requests number 1 and 2 and didn't realize that the exceptions that applied to 1 and 2 no longer applied on 3, I don't know. This is pure speculation on my part. My wonder is whether we got request number 3 and we're like, oh, we're not releasing it because this is the same request. That's my wonder. My wonder is whether some part of we didn't realize that request number 3 was different than requests number 1 and 2 because those
Megan,
those conditions had fallen off.
I would believe that BS if Terry Dickman didn't get denied the same thing, because that decision was applied towards me. But Terry Dickman applied for himself and was told the same exact thing I was told.
I hear that, and I think the question that I would have is, this is why I need to ask.
This is why you need to go watch the video. Because if there is something incriminating or embarrassing on there, I would expect you to send it up to the Attorney General or let Loralee look at it. If there isn't, then what is the problem? Do you see what I'm saying, though? If there is something that might be embarrassing or incriminating, I can understand you taking the time to send it through the lawyers to let the lawyers look at it and give you a decision, and then we go that avenue and sue the city for the body cam footage. I understand that, and that's fine. But you also have discretionary to release it. However, if there's nothing incriminating or embarrassing and there's no reason to hold it, why are you withholding the records? That's the other question.
Right. I think it just comes down to they told us to. But
that's why I'm saying you should go review it yourself so you know what's on that video, and then whatever answer Tony and Maria give you, then you can base that answer on what you've already seen and not just take their word for it. Because that is what's been getting you in this boat for the last 6 months with me, is taking whatever word they're telling you, because they're not telling you all the facts. They're not telling you the full truth.
Okay, well, I will go and find out.
That's what I'm asking you to do, because you won't know until you look at that. Now, if there's some, like I said, what if you see something incriminating or embarrassing that could possibly potentially sue the city, or that the city could be sued for, right? Well, you'd want to send it up to your lawyers to look at, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but if there isn't, why not just release it and be done with it?
I need to go do some digging and find out.
That's the easiest way to get rid of me, is go down, look at it, and if there's nothing incriminating or embarrassing, release the video and be done with me.
Right.
I got no problem with paying for the video.
Okay, I will do that. Hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why have you said that Tony flew first class somewhere?
They say what now?
Why did you accuse Tony of flying first class?
Because his plane ticket was $900, like $900 or whatever it was.
But it clearly said economy.
Did it not say economy business?
No, it said economy.
Okay. So that's probably the first thing I've said that's probably not accurate.
Well, it caught my attention because I think for the most part,
It's like an $800, $900 ticket.
I believe that you are trying to tell the truth and pursue justice as you see it. We don't always agree, but I think of you as being an honest actor, and I knew that you guys had requested that record, and it clearly said economy, and then you stood up there in a city council meeting and talked about Tony having flown first class, and I was like, you know that's not true.
Okay, well, I know he stayed at a 5-star hotel, and I also know that he's not turning in. I also know for a fact you're also signing all his stuff after he spends the money, and that's not what your charter says. So, I mean, we can go at this all day long on one little misspoken words on mine.
That was my only question. That was the only thing that I've heard you say
and you know
that
what?
I thought you probably knew was not
I may have overlooked it. I thought that might have said like economy business plus or something, which is a nice way of saying first class on Delta. I don't recall off the top of my dome what airline he flew. I mean, it obviously was not JetBlue or Spirit. But I mean, that's just really weird that one little thing that I got wrong is the only thing that you can actually question me on.
No. It is the one thing that I've heard you say that made me, that wasn't in keeping with the way that I see you operate.
And I only said it once.
It was worth asking you about it, right?
I only said it once, and I said it in a city council meeting, and I haven't brought it back up. I said what I had to say. Now, again, I may have misspoken when I was up there. I don't know if you noticed, but lately I have not been reading from what I've got in front of me. I've been trying to be more eye contact. And I've been coming off the dome instead of reading from my papers. So I may have misspoken. But that still doesn't justify a $900 plane ticket and first star or a 5-star hotel and spending all that taxpayer money to go for a little bit of training. And all the ammo and all the shooting stuff they're doing in Wake. I mean, look, I got so much dirt right now. You guys really just want to get rid of me. You really don't want this, Megan. This is not a battle you can win. You guys can fight it as long as you all want, but you will not win this battle. I was in the Marine Corps. I'm a veteran. I am stubborn as hell, and I will fight until I win. And I will get somebody. Somebody will pay for all the inconsistencies I have found. Whether that be Tony Kane, the mayor, the city council, you. Somebody is going to take the heat for everything I found. I prefer it to be Tony, because Tony's the one that caused a lot of this issue. Tony's been there for 30 years. You've been there for 4. I'd rather not have you go down with the ship because of his mistakes, because you covered for it, or because you were oblivious to it. And I put those options out there because I don't know. I really want to think that you're an honest person and that you're trying to do the right thing. But after 6 months of dealing that, I can't say that anymore about you. If your first instinct isn't to run down there after this phone call to go review that video and get rid of me, then I don't know. I don't think that you're in the interest of the people. I mean, a 20% water tax after y'all just lied and said 17%. Woo! Wait till Tuesday. I got some things for y'all Tuesday. You guys keep lying to these people. Nothing comes out of y'all's mouth is truthful. When you tell them one thing, you turn around and say and do another. This is the crap why people hate government. Every day, y'all do something to the people. People keep starting to turn against you.
So let me ask you something. What if we just said, you know what? We can't charge people a workable water rate, so we're just going to stop. We're just going to turn it all off, and there won't be water anymore.
Okay, but that's not what
another water supplier.
That's not what you proposed. You proposed a 17% tax increase, and your stupid finance director said, well, it could be more. Well, yeah, it's more after you snuck it in. That, very deceiving. That is a car salesman. You stood up there with him.
Basil.
You stood up there with him. Megan.
Megan. It hasn't even been voted on yet.
No, but you guys changed it.
All of the times that I have been talking about this, every time when I've said, I think it's going to be about or whatever, this has all been in the process of letting people know that it's coming, letting people to know what we think the estimates are right now, making sure that people aren't blindsided, making sure that they know that there's plenty of warning and there's plenty of transparency and there's plenty of, like, just openness about the fact that this is being considered. Like, this has been so very much talked about over and over again, and we're not even voting until like almost 3 weeks from now.
But Megan, you stood up there. You didn't say a nice round number to be on the safe side and say 20. You told people 17. You did a car salesman thing. You told them a lower number than what you were really anticipating. That is deceiving.
No. I told them the number that I was anticipating because I am honest.
You could have said 17 to 20%.
We then had another month of data in a wet year where water sales are low, and we've got a letter from the Texas Water Development Board dinging us on the amount of cash that we have on hand. Conditions change.
And let me ask you this. How much did you guys seriously pay for that outlet mall?
I would have to go back into the contract and look.
Okay, so that might be my next records request. Corsicana, rent, and top-notch temporaries. What are you guys using them for? Because hopefully they're not paying you to double dip like they are Corsicana.
Your what?
Top-notch is being used to double dip with the city manager over there at Corsicana. What are you guys using top-notch for?
Most of the time, I think animal control.
Okay, so you just outsourced an animal control for
like parks, and it kind of depends on what the departmental needs are.
Okay, so all right, so I wasn't sure if it was crossing guards or whatever, but so anyways, Megan, I'm gonna let you get going. I like I said, I will let off the filing the petition I was gonna file in the morning. I will hold off until after city council. I'll at least give you till Tuesday after the city council meetings to file that writ. But all my other stuff with the press releases and reaching out to Loralee, I can't hold off on that. I got to put the pressure on y'all. Y'all got to do the right thing. Y'all just can't keep doing this. And when I say y'all, I'm not saying you specifically, but you're part of that team, and if you're going to be the team captain, you got to go find out what's going on with the players.
Right.
So when I say y'all, you just know that.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm not holding you ultimate by yourself. I already know who's responsible for all this. But if you don't stay on, and see, that's the problem. Did you ever look into that whole assistant city manager who's supposed to be non-police, who's supposed to be auditing the police and making sure the chief of police is doing his job? Because you're not doing it, which means nobody is checking him and his department. Speaking of which, that $2.6 million regular salary budget with that $100,000 overtime, that's misappropriation of funds. That's a criminal charge. I'd look at that. Because that city man, your police budget, $2.6 million in regular salaries. With your officers, their salaries don't add up to that. It adds up to $1.7 million. All your overtime is over the $100,000 budget, which means all the other overtime has got to be applied to the remaining $1 million. That's a misappropriation of the funds in the budget. That's a. I'm trying to remember if that's a.
No, does that reflect the original budget or the amended budget?
It's both. They're both the same. You went over when you went over $500,000 over budget. There might have been some stuff you went over budget on other places. But if
I don't think so. I think the amended budget has squared all that up.
I got the budget. I've already got it typed up. I've already got it. Do you have the budget that was? Are you talking about the 2025 budget that just ended September 30th? No. I'm talking about from 2024. It doesn't matter what the new budget is. I've got evidence of the last year's budget and the year before and the year before that.
I'm talking about the 2025 budget that just ended.
You're talking
because
about...
our fiscal year is October 1 through September 30th.
Right. I don't have that one. I have for the 2024 is what I'm trying to tell you. I have 2024, 2023, and 2022. When I requested it, you did not have...
the original ones or the amended ones?
I have all of them. I didn't look
So
at the
you had
2024
as amended, not the original budget.
I have all of
Two
them.
budgets for
I have
2024.
I have all the projected, the actual, the amended. I have all of it.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to tell you is because the year didn't end yet, I didn't request 25 because it wasn't done yet. I went back 3 years. I'm telling you, Megan, I'm just telling you, I mean, I want to like you. I really want to like you. I really want to think that you're trying to do the right thing. But all these people that you got causing you to fail. And I always say that because you're the team captain.
I don't think you've got the right numbers for 24.
I'll have to go back and look. I'll go ahead and send you the email when I get time this weekend.
What I'm looking at shows the adopted budget and the amended budget is the same, and they're not.
Look at what is the salary for police salaries?
It's showing 22,680,000, and it would have been amended down.
Okay.
So I'm looking at where it says, because the first thing I had on my shelf was the 2025 budget, which didn't have the amended budget for 24 in it.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
It's got an actual of 1.8 million against a budget of 2.6, and then the overtime is an actual of 88 against an amended of 60.
Let me ask you a question. You're good at math, right? I'm just gonna say because you're the economical guru. You know that's what you did in Waco, and that's what you were brought up here to do here. My question is this: if you hire on, you get a bigger budget to hire on more officers, so you have more regular hours being done by your officers. Shouldn't that in theory lower your overtime hours instead of increase them?
Yes.
Okay, then why isn't that happening?
But instead what we see is that the regular salaries are lower than budgeted and overtime is higher than budgeted because we weren't able to fill those positions, and so we had our people working overtime.
I understand that, but even with more officers being filled, the thing is, if you pay them $60,000 a year for brand new officers, how many officers would that be? If you're going based on your 1.8 number that you're saying, because I don't have the numbers in front of me, 1.8 versus 2.685. Okay, let's just say 2.6. That's 800,000. Okay, at $60,000 a year for someone coming on, that's going to be what? Roughly 7 more officers plus. Because you can't go 8 because that'd be 64. That'd be, let's see, that would be 864,000. So that math would be a little over. But that's for an additional 8 officers. Okay, even if you got 3 additional officers. And right now your budget should go down. You just lost 2, one to Fort Worth and one to Hill County. And then you had one at the beginning of the year leave to go to Little Elm.
But the budget doesn't go down. So we have the budget for those positions, and if those positions are open, then that budget just goes unspent until we get that position filled.
No, and I understand that. I'm not denying that's how it works. But you can't give everybody overtime, go over your overtime and try to apply it and hide it in your regular salaries either.
No, the overtime isn't in the regular salary. It's in overtime.
Okay. If you say so.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I'm not going to disagree because I know what I have.
It's easily. I mean.
I'm not going to deny it.
If you want to know, the request that you could make if you wanted to is.
Megan, I've got the request. I know what I.
Breakdown by department per pay period.
Megan, I know what I have, and it's okay. I'm not going to argue and fight you with it if that's what you say. Those are your words. That's what you said.
Yes.
The only thing you've been able to call me out on is one mistake and one little error about a first-class ticket.
I didn't call you out. I asked you.
You called me out. Hey, that's questioning me. That's calling me out. You know what? And I'm glad you questioned me because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it wasn't first class and I got to go look at my paperwork and I misspoke, then that's fine. It was a misspoke. And because I don't think I've actually ever misspoke. I think I've been pretty factual up until this point. So, because if that's the only thing that's still on your mind after like a month and a half, then I know that's the only thing that you got me on. And it was a misspeak, and that's fine. I can own it. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I misspeak. Sometimes I open mouth and insert foot, and that was one of my moments, I guess. And I'm glad you double-checked it. And I'm glad you're calling me out if I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Again, I can admit when I'm wrong. But I know I'm not wrong about these other things because I've got the records. You guys have sent me the records, so.
Okay. Well,
but
I'm
anyway.
gonna look into the video and the reason.
That's all you look. If you want to get rid of me, the easiest way to get rid of me, seriously, Megan, because this is the only thing I got left to look at, is to finish telling my Terry Dickman story. Is to basically sit here and get the video and be done with you all. I've got all my stuff that I need to take to the Attorney General on Tony Kane and some other things in the city. And this is all I need to finish my Hillsboro story so I can move on. If not, I've got a new wardrobe attire that I'm going to be wearing at City Council that you guys are going to have a lot of fun with, along with some press that I'm probably going to bring.
Does it have a picture of me in handcuffs? That's my family's favorite.
Oh, that one there? I mean, I can make another one, but no, I mean, I prefer no. This one has nothing to do with you guys. Well, I made a statement on what you guys called me at the last city council meeting. So it has to do with what I said. But yes, I purposely went out and had it made just for the city council. Not so much you. But the city council, by the way, I really pissed off Dana Robinson, didn't I? Woo!
I have no comment.
You don't have to. She spoke during my speech. Now it's kind of she broke the rules of decorum, but it's all good. It's all good. Nothing gets enforced there except feelings. Anyways, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna try to reach out to Loralee. So I don't know if you want to call her and let her know that I'll be emailing her. Regarding this Terry Dickman video, and if she's reviewing all these public records like she is supposed to be, I'm not trying to say give her a heads up. I just want to make sure she's reviewing this. If she's not reviewing it, then you guys have a problem. If she's reviewing it and that's her decision to send it up, then that's another battle for another day. Okay. So I mean, like I said, I deal with attorneys all the time. Deal with city attorneys all the time. I deal with municipality law firms. So this is not new. So, but I want to check with her. I want to make sure she's well aware of what's going on or what's not going on, and then she's open to having a conversation. Her and I can have a conversation about these records before I proceed with anything with the city. Like I said, I'm trying to give you guys an opportunity. I may be upset because I've never ran into this much of a problem of one body cam footage. I've never had to literally go to a district court and sue. No, Megan, I really don't. I mean, you're going to have to come to court. Loralee's going to have to come to court. Then we're going to have to call in Tony Kane and Maria Ramirez, and then we're going to keep you guys, take you away from all those hard hours working that you could be spent on servicing the people and the citizens of Hillsboro, instead dragging y'all into court to try to tell a judge why you don't want to give me a video that should be releasable. So I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to have to do that. So please don't make me do that. So help me, help you, help get rid of me. I can't say it any nicer than that. I mean, it really is.
Okay, well, I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, so I will look into the process.
Yeah, and if you got to check with Loralee, check with Loralee. I'm going to send her an email anyways, but please, that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
All right. Absolutely. Take care.
All right.
I'll let you know what I find out.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Watchdog.